This week on HTF, the mighty Patriots have fallen. The Heat are hot, hot, hot. And catch some rare MLS takes with the MLS Cup this Sunday. This is Hitting the Field.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask. I just really hit the field. 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 Boy, I'm about to hit the field.
Welcome to Hitting the Field. I'm Jaret Kappelman, holding it down for HTF on our first November show of the season. Joining me to talk some football today are Jon Whitley and Moinca Hyuang. Jon, how you doing today?
Another great week of football. I'm fired up to be here.
Moinca, welcome to the show. How are you feeling?
I'm a little nervous, but very excited.
Well, we're going to start things off on the show today with yesterday's biggest upset. Last night, Baltimore quote the Raven nevermore and denied the Pats a 9-0 start. The Ravens came out on top 37-20. It was a big win for Baltimore and Lamar Jackson, who had 224 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Jon, how big was this win for the Ravens?
It was a huge win because I think it showed that the Ravens' speed can break the Patriots' excellent defensive game planning. That's huge for them, for their confidence heading towards the playoff run.
Moinca, what'd you think of the game?
I thought it was really good. The Ravens, it was amazing for them to beat an undefeated team.
So, one thing I want to touch on, we said it, speed kills. Lamar Jackson almost looked unstoppable on, like, third down runs, second down runs. Like, the Patriots didn't know what to do. Do we think, like, the option game, I mean, they had 3 running backs. They had Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, and Lamar Jackson. Yeah. That's just a 3 threat.
Yeah, well, it slows the defense down. Not only that, it makes the margin of error for the defense so small because with that kind of speed, one misstep and they're gone.
So, Moinca, the Patriots were 8-0, but would we say, like, you know, they finally played a real team? So are the Patriots legit still?
No.
Patriots are not legit?
I don't think so. No.
So, Patriots are done. Jon, are the Patriots done?
The Patriots are absolutely not done. I'm not going to overreact to this. They're still the Patriots. They're still the defending champs. So until somebody knocks them off in the playoffs, they're still the champs.
Now, we said their next 4 games are against the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Texans, and the Chiefs. What are they going to do in this, Moinca? You think they're going to go like 2-2, 4-0, 3-1?
I think they might lose one more game, but...
I mean, it is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Don't bet against him. He does lead the league in intentional groundings this season. Jon, what are the next 4 games looking like?
Yeah, I think they run it. I think they go. The Ravens loss, maybe the only loss of the season. The Chiefs, depending on Patrick Mahomes' health, so I'm waiting to see. That's the only other game.
That's in 5 weeks, so he should be healthy.
Yeah, as long as Patrick Mahomes is on the field, I got the Chiefs in that one.
Moinca, how'd the defense look for the Patriots last night?
I didn't think it looked that good.
Yeah, I mean, they were the best defense statistically coming into the game. They got torn apart for 37, so were their stats padded from bad teams, you think?
I think so, yeah.
Jon?
Well, I would say this. I would say the Patriots pride themselves on their excellent game planning and their preparation. It just the speed of the Ravens just crushed that.
Yep.
So I still think the Patriots have a great defense and they'll be prepared for anyone.
Well, we'll see. These next 4 weeks will be a huge test for them. In one of the more exciting games on the schedule from yesterday, the Seattle Seahawks survived an upset bid from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they escaped in overtime 40-34. Seattle won on a walk-off touchdown from backup tight end Jacob Hollister, who found the end zone twice in the win. Moinca, how big was this win for your Seattle Seahawks?
It shouldn't have been that big of a win. I mean, the Bucs were 2-5 at the time, and for us to beat them in overtime is really good. However, we shouldn't have gone to overtime or be tied up the entire game.
Jon, what do you make of the game?
Yeah, I think Monica's right. I think what happened was the Bucs, this was an absolute must-win for them. They came out with their hair on fire, and Seattle was able to weather the storm and get the win. So I think that's pretty big.
Now, the Seahawks only turned over Jameis Winston once yesterday. Like, is that a big issue for a quarterback who turns the ball over a lot? What's wrong with the defense for Seattle?
I don't know. I feel like Seattle is such a wild card all the time, so I have no answer for that.
I mean, John, what do you make of the defense?
Yeah, I think pride yourself on that one turnover. Like I said, this was an absolute must-win for the Buccaneers. They were playing their best football. I mean, this was the best Bucs team you will see all year.
You think they played better than they did against the Rams?
Pretty close, man. They played some good football yesterday.
So what do we think of Russell Wilson, the leading MVP candidate this season? Did he just cement another game into his MVP campaign this season?
Russell Wilson does a lot better when he's under pressure, I believe.
So when he's under pressure, it doesn't matter that he spikes the ball with no time
Well,
on the clock.
he's an amazing quarterback, but he just does a lot better under pressure.
Under
He
pressure?
has the clutch gene.
Yeah.
He has
Do you
the
remember
clutch
when he
gene.
spiked the ball in the Rose Bowl with no time on the clock? That's my favorite Russell Wilson highlight.
Learning in college, that's what that was.
All right. Well, speaking of the Seahawks, the teams gained another weapon Friday after claiming former Patriots wideout Josh Gordon off waivers. Gordon joins DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to form a lethal wide receiving core in the Pacific Northwest. John, how do you like this fit for Flash Gordon?
Oh, man, I love this fit. As long as you can get him on the field, having Josh Gordon on one side, Metcalf on the other side, Tyler Lockett in the slot, unstoppable passing. As long as you can keep Josh Gordon on the field, that's the key.
Monica, how do you think he's going to fit in with the team?
I think it'll do good. Seattle also has a history of taking in troubled players and fixing them.
Well, did the Patriots fix Josh Gordon, or is he still like in this state?
I'm still unsure exactly why he was cut. I was made to understand it was because of the injuries, but he's set to practice this week. So I don't know if there's some information about Josh Gordon that we don't know.
I mean, he found out on Instagram that he was cut from
Yeah.
the team. He had no idea from the Patriots organization itself. But do we think this helps Russell Wilson even more now, Monica, with another weapon on the field?
Yes, I do. I believe that he's, going to be a threat.
So do we think Russell Wilson's got MVP in the bag now?
I wouldn't say in the bag, but I would say he's certainly the front runner.
The front runner? I mean, who else could contest with
Well, I
him?
think if Patrick Mahomes comes back and has a great showing, I think he could get back in there. I think Lamar Jackson, if he keeps playing like he did last night, he's certainly in the mix as well.
I mean, but statistically, 224 yards and 3 touchdowns isn't MVP numbers. So, I mean, do we think Russell Wilson is the clear runner, Monica, or do you think it's someone else?
I think it's him.
Okay, so something else I want to touch on for the Seahawks. They have like some big games coming up. One game that I want to mention, a little homerish, but they play the Eagles, and that game will be a must-win for both teams to probably win the division or get a good wild card spot. What are you looking forward to most in that game?
I'm kind of just looking forward to seeing how both teams react to one another.
Okay. Last year they met on Sunday Night Football, the Seahawks embarrassed the Eagles, which happened to be, the start of the Eagles' comeback for the season. What do you think that game's looking?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited that Carson Wentz has Deshaun Jackson back. However, I think Russell Wilson and this receiving core is just going to torch that Eagles secondary, and they're going to get the win.
Now, I know I jumped a couple weeks ahead, but let's jump into next week where the 49ers and Seahawks will meet. Monica, what are you looking forward to in that game? Unbeaten versus the Seahawks?
Like I said, Seattle's such a wild card, and the 49ers are undefeated right now, so
Anything can happen kind of thing?
yeah.
Yeah, the two heavyweights of the NFC West. I
Yep.
can't wait to see it. I'm going with the 49ers. I think that pass rush is too good. The defense is just too good overall. But I can't wait for that one. I'm fired up for that.
Well, I was going to say, Nick Bosa's kind of looking like Aaron Donald in a way. Like, he might be a front runner, not a front runner for MVP, but definitely Defensive Player of the Year.
He can do it all.
What do we think of Jimmy Garoppolo's success this year?
I think he's been doing amazing this year.
He's just doing what he has to do to win, right, John?
He does what he has to do to win. I think the run game makes it easy for him. I'm still not totally sold on him as a quarterback, but hey, he's doing what he has to do to get wins, and there's a lot to be said for that.
All right. Well, a big game that shook the balance of power in both conferences came at Arrowhead, where the Chiefs hit a game-winning field goal to down the Vikings. Without starting QB Pat Mahomes, Kansas City still came out victorious thanks to clutch kicking and a favorable performance from backup quarterback Matt Moore. The Chiefs and Vikes both sit at 6-3, and this game could have played a huge role when it's all said and done. Monica, did this game help the Chiefs more, or did it hurt the Vikings more?
I think it hurt the Vikings more just because they lost to a backup quarterback.
John?
Well, I think it was huge for both teams in a negative way for the Vikings and a positive way for the Chiefs. Like you said, I think it's bigger for the Chiefs just because if you can just continue to weather this storm until Patrick Mahomes gets out, you don't have to rush Patrick Mahomes. And if you get a full, healthy Patrick Mahomes, I think they could be the front runners in the AFC.
So we talked about the Chiefs, like it was a good win, but like preseason, the Vikings probably weren't expecting to win this, and then they play a backup quarterback. This would have tied them for first in the NFC North with the Packers. Monica, I mean, why did this hurt the Vikings so much? Like, now they're one game behind. Like, what does this playoff implications have? Just like...
Yeah.
So, John, the Packers would have been tied for first with them. What do we
Yeah.
think?
I mean, I'll say this. I think it's bigger for the Packers than it was for the Chiefs or the Vikings.
That's what I was
Keep
thinking.
them in front in the division. They still have that one game. They still have the tiebreaker against Minnesota. Got to play Minnesota one more time. I think it's biggest for the Packers.
I mean, the Chiefs going 1-1 without Mahomes is a blessing.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, because if you go 0-2 without Mahomes, now you got to rush him back before he's ready. You don't want that.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the NFL season. Thank you, John and Monica, for your first football takes. But as we know, football isn't done just yet this week. Tonight, the Cowboys head to New York to face off against the Giants. And the Cowboys coming off their bye week, so they should be well prepared. We want to hear on Twitter from you. Who wins the game tonight, the Cowboys or the Giants? Head to our Twitter poll at Hitting the Field, and I'll reveal those results at the end of the show. Stay tuned.
I mean, yeah, they lost the last two, but third time's a charm, right? That's what I tell myself every night before I cry myself to sleep, right?
Definitely. In my eyes, I know he's pitching game 2, and his postseason ERA is about over 4, and I'm scared.
Because I like losing, apparently. It seems to be the trend. It's Jeter, too. He's just mad because the Yankees lost in the 2003 World Series.
03 World Series?
I think I have a better chance of winning the lottery, actually. Like, I'm probably going to throw it all on red this summer and hope for the best.
100%. And they're better than the Houston Astros. The Trastros?
Honestly, Justin Verlander is the second coming of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He is a god. I would go straight for Kate Upton.
I don't know.
We didn't give him enough. Should have given him $500 million.
Let's go, Yankees.
The Yankees will not lose. Let's be clear. Best team in baseball ever.
Welcome back to HTF. With the NBA season now almost 2 weeks old, we figured we should talk about some early season storylines. Joining me on the set to talk some hoops, I got Troy Alford and Armond Sarduy. How you doing today, Troy?
Feeling good, man. Glad to be here.
Feeling good, you know, with the daylight savings time, get an extra hour of sleep.
Did we get an extra hour or did we just stay up an extra hour?
Depends
I
how
was
we look
up
at it.
when the time went forward. I was up watching the clock, and I saw it happen. So
That's
I
pretty
didn't, you know.
You got an hour back?
Yeah.
Well, we begin our NBA talk with one of the league's best teams out of the gate. The Miami Heat could not have asked for a better 6-game start, going 5-1 to begin the season. Last night was an exclamation point for the team as they embarrassed the Rockets, winning by 29. Troy, how legit are the Miami Heat?
I believe they're a legit team in the Eastern Conference. I have them finishing at about the 4th seed. They kind of remind me of like what the Pacers were last season. You know, a really competitive, tough team, a tough matchup for anyone they play. And I like the fact that they play together. There's no true superstar. They just play together. They're rugged, they're rough, and I respect them.
So no superstar. Armand, what do you think of them?
Yeah, the thing is that I love the early start at 5-1 to start the season. The thing is that when it comes to Miami sports, you know, don't get sold on the dream too quickly.
Yeah.
You see that with the Dolphins, you see that with the Florida Panthers, you see with the baseball team. The thing is that and Pat Riley we trust. You know what I'm saying? He went out and got Tyler Hero and an undrafted pick with Kendrick Nunn.
Got Jimmy Butler.
Exactly, and then Kendrick Nunn, I think he broke Kevin Durant's record, you know, with 5 straight
Points
games.
in first
right.
Yep.
So the thing is that I love this Miami Heat team. Like I said, we might be 3rd, 4th seed. The thing is that I think we shouldn't be too sold on the dream right now.
So if we're not going to be too sold on the team yet, who do we think looks better in the East than the Heat right now?
I think they're right there with Boston and Milwaukee. I think Philly is clearly the top dog in the East, but I don't think Philly is too far ahead of Miami. I think it'd be a good matchup if they were to meet up in, say, the second round or something. But Miami, they're a legit team. I can see them being a threat, possibly to a top-tier team in the East.
Could the Heat make the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, actually, here's a take for today. I think they could beat the 76ers.
You think they can beat the 76ers?
I think so.
In a 7-game series?
Yeah. I think we're talented enough. I mean, it's gonna be a long series, though. I think we might actually go to 7 games, but I think we're talented enough and we're gritty enough to pay the 76ers and actually beat them. But it's gonna be tough.
Troy, why do the Sixers win a 7-game series?
I don't think that he have the size to beat the 76ers. You know, they still got Al Horford, they still got Embiid, Harris. They have versatile bigs. And I don't think that he can match up with them when it comes to that.
I mean, I trust in the Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley system. I think that I think that the Heat are talented enough and got a lot of young guys. You got Bam Adebayo, you got Tyler Hero.
But with being young, there's they don't have that experience in the playoffs. And we've seen the 76ers in the playoffs year after year, and they were like literally one bucket away from making the Eastern Conference Finals. So,
well, you're saying experience, but let's talk about leadership. I mean, Jimmy Butler's been a very outspoken player throughout his career. I don't think he's the best of leader. Who is the leader in this Heat locker room?
I mean, I feel like everyone's a leader in that locker room. Everybody picks themselves up. Obviously, Jimmy Butler, I can guess because he's our superstar. And plus, he also played for the 76ers last season. So he knows the type of, he knows the type, how Ben Simmons plays, how Joel Embiid plays, Tobias. So he knows those guys in that locker room. So when they do play in the 7-game series, I think it'd be a great one. But other than that, I have to kind of agree with Troy on that one. They do have experience being a playoff team. They almost made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But this Heat team, like I said, not going to be too sold on them right now. But we got to see what happens after All-Star break.
Now, we said they embarrassed the Rockets last night, but what does that mean? The Rockets have not looked great all year. Troy, what is up with the Rockets?
If you know me, I've been saying the Rockets are going to struggle. They're going to struggle. You got Russell Westbrook and James Harden.
Well, you just mentioned Westbrook. He's not even playing tonight. He's out with rest. What is going on with this Rockets team?
Look, it's going to be a rough It's going to be a rough start. You have James Harden, a ball-dominant guy. Russell Westbrook and Harden pretty much play the same type of way. They usually control the ball, dish it out, shoot whenever they want to. So it's going to be interesting how that meshes together.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's going to work, and you're seeing it now that they're clashing, and I think it's going to get a little worse down the line.
What's wrong with the Rockets right now?
They're just trying to find their identity right now. They had 2 ball-dominant guys, Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Actually, they're not really fighting each other because they both respect one another. They played in the NBA Finals in 2012, and then James Harden got traded, and it was Russell's team and KD's team, and KD left, and then Ibaka left, and then Russell's by himself, and then they traded Russell to Houston. Well, they're still trying to find their identity.
Well, maybe they need to get KD back, get on OKC, and move on back to Seattle and start to see Supersonics back up again.
You really had to put that Seattle plug in there. I knew he was going to go for it.
He was slick with it.
You wanted
that.
You
knew it was coming. But you know what? An early candidate for Game of the Year came Friday, Troy. The Lakers topped the Mavericks. What do you think about that game?
It was a great game. I was happy to see it because, after the first game of the season, people were trying to bury LeBron James. They were trying to say he's washed up, he's old, he doesn't have it anymore, and he showed you all that he still got it.
He had a triple-double. A triple-double. LeBron is not this old 15th-year player.
He was going coast to coast, dunking. It was amazing, man. So it was great. It was great to see.
So Luka Doncic also notched a triple-double in that game.
Yeah.
What do you think, Armand? What did you think of that whole game?
Oh man, that was crazy. I think the Lakers were down by at least what?
Yeah, they
13?
came back
They
to
came
win
back. They
in
came back.
overtime.
They came back to win.
Yeah.
Luka, he's one of my early MVP candidates. Especially in the second year.
Candidate.
He might be.
What?
Yeah. He's looking really good, man.
Right now I'm looking at LeBron, obviously.
Okay.
I'm looking at AD.
Okay.
I like Kawhi, but load management is going to get in there.
Right.
We're looking at, Joel Embiid, guys like that. Karl Anthony Towns is playing good too, but it's so early that you can't really even make MVP candidate predictions yet. It's too early. We only need 6 games to the year. So by the time we get around Christmas break, that's when you can start making more better predictions.
Armand, are the Lakers the team in the West now though? They're 5 straight wins.
Like I said, 5 straight wins.
Like I said on the NBA special show, they're one of the best teams in the Western Conference. With them, the Clippers,
the best team in the Western Conference.
I mean, we'll see when the playoffs come.
The top tier team. You got the Lakers, and you got everybody else.
I mean, we'll see when the playoffs start, or we'll see after All-Star break.
I'm telling you now, Lakers are the best team, man.
You sure?
I'm very sure.
You're 100% sure about that?
I'm 100% positive.
So if they play the Clippers game, what do you think is going to happen?
They're going to beat the Clippers.
They're going to beat the Clippers?
The Clippers are clipped.
They're going to clip them?
Yes.
Okay.
Clipped.
By how much?
You're talking like in the series?
No, I'm talking about if they play the Clippers right now, how much do you think they win by?
Oh, we'll win. Probably a good 15 points.
Oh, we'll win.
That. But if we play them in a 7-game series, I can see that going 6 or 7 games for us winning.
Did you say we again? I just got to keep track of
No, I'm serious about this. Last time I misspoke when I said we about the Brooklyn Nets, but when I say we about the Lakers, I'm serious.
Okay.
So you're saying they beat the Clippers? The Clippers don't have Paul George yet, though.
Exactly.
Is that not a factor?
It doesn't matter. They're still clipped. They're still clipped.
So with Paul George, the Clippers are losing.
Yep.
That's crazy.
For real.
That's crazy.
We're
crazy.
I mean, Paul George was
carried
that Thunder team.
Paul George was an MVP candidate last year, and you're saying with Paul George they're losing.
But let's see how he plays with Kawhi. Let's see how they work together.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Lakers are looking real good, but if they play the Clippers,
I think they're only going to get better.
So the Clippers
defensively, they're going to. That first game was such a little game. We got so much more to go.
I'll be honest with you, they are scratching the surface. I mean, there's so much potential. The thing is that LeBron, God forbid, if he goes down, he still have 80 to carry the load. The thing is that I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the best LeBron has looked since his 2016-17 season.
Really?
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I think he looked good last year.
One of the biggest storylines came Wednesday with the brawl between two of the NBA's biggest rising stars, between Karl Anthony Towns and Joel Embiid. It came in the second half when, literally out of nowhere, he's in a headlock. Karl Anthony Towns in a headlock, and I don't know what happened, but Embiid got the last laugh as the 76ers remain undefeated. Joy, what'd you make of this fight?
Man, it was a cat fight, man. It was a grappling match. I didn't see any real punches thrown. These NBA guys don't really fight. They just grab each other and hug and wait for the team to break them up. It's not really a fight, man.
2 words: rent free. Joel Embiid was in Karl Anthony Towns' head all night. And on top of that, we put the icing on the cake. You have him talking smack on social media, as well as his mom, flipping the bird at him after he got ejected. So the thing is that Karl Anthony Towns, he's got stunned by Joel Embiid.
Karl Anthony Towns beef has been going on for quite some time now.
It has.
I mean, who is the real winner in this? Who owns who right now?
Nobody
Joel
wins,
Embiid.
man. Nobody won.
Nobody
It
wins?
was a cat fight. It was petty.
Didn't Ben Simmons get the best hit out of anyone?
He didn't hit nobody. He was just choking the guy on the ground.
Got a headlock.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm surprised he didn't get suspended for that.
He should have got suspended.
How did he not get suspended?
That was
because
dirty.
the league wanted one superstar to play on the 76ers because they're one of the best teams right now.
Yeah.
And the things that they suspended both Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and no one's gonna show up to the game because that's the one they wanted to see.
I mean, well, I'm so in for
That sounds like a conspiracy, Armand.
It might
sounds
be
like a conspiracy.
like Kevin Durant's Achilles injury. That could be a conspiracy.
You think that's a conspiracy?
That could be.
You're whack.
He definitely partially tore that Achilles.
He did.
It's okay.
The things that you can't when you have a lower calf injury like that, we can't rush back within a month. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's paying the price sitting out all season. One of the biggest surprises of the early NBA season comes to the Phoenix Suns. They're off to their best start in 15 years. The 4-2 Suns have lost center DeAndre Ayton to a 25-game suspension, but Aaron Baines has filled the starting center role nicely, while Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre are playing some of their best basketball. Armand, are the Suns for real?
Are you kidding me? No.
I actually got excited.
I see another 20 and 62 win for them. The thing is that they
20
and 62.
I give him about
20, 62.
30,
30,
35, possibly.
I mean, without DeAndre Ayton.
It's possible.
That's just crazy because I think
you don't see 35 wins possibly.
No,
under 40.
No, because the Phoenix Suns.
I don't see 20. 20 is a little too harsh, man.
The Phoenix Suns hasn't been good since like the 2000 Nash and Mario Stoudemire.
I mean, I agree with you for the most part. I don't think they're legit. It's early. I remember last year, like the Magic started out hot. They were like #1 in the East. Ended up 8th seed.
I remember saying on the show, like, oh, the Magic are 8-1. What do we
Yeah,
think?
and they ended up the 8th seed, barely making the playoffs.
Yeah, but the thing is that we knew they were going to be a playoff team, but not like 4th, 5th seed. But the Suns team, it's just a bunch of young guys, playing ball
Young,
and doing
hungry guys
nonsense.
that are coming in, working hard,
I mean, they're probably like what, 1 or 2 like good players from actually being good.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just actually it's just a bunch of young guys in locker. It's like a college team, a bunch of young guys in locker
Booker's
room.
playing pretty well. I looked at his numbers. He dropped
Yeah.
30 a couple games ago.
Yeah, and that's what
20. Like, he's playing really good.
Yeah, that's what he do to back at him in the offseason. So.
Yeah.
Well, the Suns will
Double
get their
team.
chance to prove their worth tonight at home against the unbeaten Sixers. Philly is still without Joel Embiid as he is serving his suspension, and Phoenix will look to take advantage of that. Troy, who wins tonight?
I got Philly. Even without Joel Embiid, I think Philly is they're just a better team.
Yep. Philly by 1,000.
Philly by
1,000.
1,000?
By 1,000.
How like are we like legit?
Not
like
legit.
the Suns
Just,
don't win at all?
No.
No, I got
No.
Philly dominating them, though.
Philly
That's what I see. It's gonna be an interesting
they
game.
win. Philly wins by 20 or more.
I don't
It's
think
gonna be a
20 or
blowout.
more because they just played the Clippers and they played them pretty good.
Without Embiid?
Yeah.
Now I want to throw this to you, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
We heard the breaking news last week. Steph Curry is going to be out for a couple months with a broken hand.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with the Warriors now?
They're a G League team right now in the NBA. It's
Oh.
rough. They're missing
G
D'Lo.
League.
They're missing Green. Steph. It's a huge blow. So I think they're going to play for the lottery this year.
Play
And
for
it's-
the lottery.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
We didn't expect that coming into the year, but I think that's the reality of the situation. They're going to play for the lottery this year.
You know what? This might sound bad, but I'm happy Steph got hurt. You know why?
Oh, what?
Oh yeah. Hold
No,
on,
listen
time out,
to
no.
me. Listen to my take. I'm happy he got hurt. You know why? Because he has to deal with that dumpster fire. He's just at home resting. You know what I'm saying, for 3 months. He just got back from five straight finals. Like, this is time for him
Yeah,
to
you
rest.
can't make
I
6
think
now.
I don't think you should say happy. I think you should say
Yes.
the silver lining in his injury is that he gets rest.
Yeah, but when he comes back, the Warriors are probably going to be like what? Maybe like
I think
12
they'll
seed
be like,
in the Western
20
Conference.
games under 500.
Right.
I believe so.
But the thing is that I think he deserves his rest. You know what I'm saying? He carried this franchise ever since. Well, he carried his franchise
It's a
since what, the
blessing in
2012.
disguise
Yeah,
that he got hurt.
he carried his
So now he can-
franchise since like the 2013 season. So this is a moment of rest. So I'm happy he got hurt. It might sound bad to you all you Warriors
No,
fans
don't
out
say
there.
you're happy he
Don't
got
say
hurt,
it.
man.
That's just
I'm
terrible
happy.
wording.
I'm happy for him that
There's a
he gets the
silver
rest.
lining in the-
I mean, it sounds bad that it's bad that he got hurt like that because it's
Yeah.
just tough. It's a tough way to go out. He got surgery on his broken
So
hand.
does
so.
this solidify that Clay just sits out the rest of the season?
Yeah.
Oh, he was already sitting out prior
Yeah.
before.
There's
We
no
already
need-
knew
there's
that.
no need for him
There's
to
no
come
need
back.
for him to come back. Like I said, they're going to play for the lottery. They probably get like a 10th, 8th, 9th pick, something like that.
Is it scary if the Warriors somehow win the lottery?
That is scary.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen.
Is it
That is
rebuild?
scary.
I
don't
mean,
want that to
the thing is that it might be the curse of the new Chase Center, honestly. But the thing is that the Warriors might have a lottery pick.
They might.
If they get the number 1 seed, I'm not watching basketball.
It's rigged at that point?
It's rigged.
It's rigged.
If they get the number 1
I
seed.
mean, I mean, the thing is that they're back to where people used to like them now, and now actually used to like them, and now we're just crapping on them and then making jokes now. Got Draymond and then the rest of the no-name guys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the thing is that now this excuse for Clay to not play the season because he wasn't going to play the season at all. There's no need
he
for him to
wasn't
come
gonna,
back.
Yeah, he wasn't going to come regardless.
Now Steph, he gets the rest that he deserves carrying the franchise on his back.
Do they even bring him back?
No.
Who?
Well,
Curry, do they bring him back?
I think so.
You think
3
so?
months, so we'll be back like
I mean,
January.
the season's
February.
lost.
See,
at
the
this
season
point.
will be lost
So
at
if he
that
does
point.
come back, they're gonna probably limit him. He might actually pull a little loader management card.
Ooh, I like that
management,
card.
Right. So the thing is that Steph Curry, is just he needs this rest. Honestly, be home with your kids, your wife. You know what I'm saying? You're home for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? No basketball activity. He might do like some rehab and that's about it. But the thing is that he deserves this rest. And it also shows that can Steve Kerr coach without All Stars?
So you said Steve Kerr, can he coach without All-Stars?
Can he coach without All
Can
Stars?
he, Troy?
I think he's going to have to, but I don't think he can.
Because
I mean,
he's been for this past 5
He's
years.
been pampered like with stars the past 4 or 5 years.
I
Yeah.
think I could have coached that Warriors.
Like he
team.
went from like 5. He went from 5 All Stars to like 1 in Draymond. I think, but he didn't even play last game because he got hurt.
Yeah,
Draymond's hurt
Draymond's out
too.
with a hand
Yeah.
injury also.
Yeah.
So
Their starting 5 was one of the worst starting 5s
it's
I've seen.
a G League team in the NBA.
Willie Cauley-Stein was playing the 5.
I mean, you take a look back at it, you can see a good 30 for 30.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Well, if they win the lottery, they'll definitely be a 30 for 30 on the NBA's rigged lottery system. Thank you, Armond and Troy, for your insight. When we come back, we'll talk the MLS playoffs. Stick with us.
Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Davey would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Doop-de-doop.
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys,
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy?
Welcome back to Hitting the Field. I'm now joined by Connor Dowd and Tyler Fellerman to engage in a rare soccer discussion on HTF. Tyler, how you doing today?
I'm great. We get to talk soccer finally.
Connor?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
That's what we love to hear. We kick off our soccer talk out west, where the Seattle Sounders qualified for their 3rd MLS Cup in 4 seasons after knocking out Supporter Shield's winner, LAFC. 2 goals from Raul Ruidiaz were the key for Seattle, who entered the Western Conference Final as overwhelming underdogs. Tyler, what did you make of Seattle's big win?
Well, I mean, you're talking about LAFC, who is going to go down as either the best or the second best MLS team in history. They broke the record for goal differential. They broke the record for points. They have Carlos Vela on their team, who is playing out of his mind, breaks the record for most goals in a season in the MLS, and then Seattle goes in there with their 1-2 punch, Raul Diaz, Nico Lodero, and they just win 3-1.
I mean, yeah, they went into LA. Connor, what do you think of the game?
It's been great. The season has been really good. The playoffs have been fantastic. Yeah. It's been a lot of road teams upsetting these higher seeds in their home stadiums. Like, each team has gone up early. The home team's gone up early, and then these road teams have just come back and been able to really recap and rally, get a couple goals late. And Seattle just did that. They know what they're doing. They've been in the playoffs the past 4 years.
Often.
Yeah, they know what they're doing in the playoffs. And I think that they just keep on getting better. They know the system very well.
I mean, we've talked about it before, just like behind the scenes, but I mean, Seattle looks like the complete team this year. Yep. They just took down the best team in the MLS. I mean, what else are they looking to achieve other than the Cup?
Rui Diaz started off the season very slow, but this playoffs, he's got 3 goals, 2 assists. Lordero has 3 assists, 2 goals. That 1-2 punch that they've seemed to figure out in the playoffs is just working very well for them.
Connor, is Rui Diaz like the X factor for Seattle?
He is, and you see it when in the game against in the semifinals. You saw him whenever he touched the ball. 4 guys would surround him. 4 guys from LA would just jump to him and try to get the ball from him, and he just draws so much attention. That's what opens up for the other strikers and the other forwards. And you see Rui Diaz, when he gets the ball, something magic. You just feel like a goal is about to be scored. He's about to do something incredible.
Now, I don't think people realize it, but soccer on a road environment is really tough. How big was just going on the road to win?
That's the biggest shock I think everybody had, was that not only is it LAFC, but it's in their house. I think everybody outside of Seattle really thought LAFC was going to win that, and it was Seattle that ended up being able to pull that one out.
Yeah, and I mean, to go into LA after their historic season and with that crowd, I mean, LA is not really a soccer town, but it's becoming, and with the Galaxy and with LAFC, sure, they can fill that stadium. Like, they've been able to recently, especially with the playoffs, and to go in there and get a win is huge for Seattle and huge for the league. I think it's really starting to grow more and becoming more popular.
All right. Well, on the East Coast, Atlanta United's repeat campaign ended at the hands of Toronto FC in a 2-1 loss. It's Toronto's third Eastern Conference championship in 4 years. Connor, what are your thoughts on the Eastern Conference Finals?
It was a really good game. I honestly thought Atlanta should have won. They scored an early goal. Julian Gressel put one in I think the 4th minute, and then they got a PK
At
in the
11.
10th. Yeah, at 11. And I mean, it was blocked. A great save by Westberg, the goalie from Toronto. And I thought Atlanta should have won, but 2 goals from outside the box, absolutely insane. Like it seemed like Atlanta wasn't even playing defense that far, which they should be pressing, especially in a big game like this. They just let both goals be scored from over 20 yards, which
Tyler,
is
did the
ridiculous.
better team win?
I don't think so. I think he's correct on that. Atlanta gave this game away. They go down, they have the chance to take a 2-0 lead, and they blow the penalty kick. 3 minutes later, Toronto is out there and they score. I think both teams took the foot off the gas pedal at that point, were scared to make mistakes, and then super sub for Toronto, Nick DeLeon, comes on again and scores a goal for them.
Scores 78th minute to push Atlanta. Now, we talked about it before as well. Atlanta has looked like the best team since they've joined the league. Not only that, their stadium sells out, which is absolutely insane. Tyler, what just fell apart for Atlanta?
I think they just took their foot off the gas when they were nervous. They expected to go up 2-0, and when that happens and the other team just comes down and gets a goal on you, you get nervous. You don't want to make another mistake. You don't know really what to do, and then the other team just scores on you when you got your heels on the ground.
All right, well, the stage is now set for Toronto-Seattle Part 3. In 2016, Seattle took the crown, and in 2017, Toronto took it back. Now, 2019 presents the rubber match between these two potential dynasties. Connor, who takes this one?
I'm going to take Seattle. They're at home. They've never had a final at home. They've both been played in Toronto the past 2, and both were really good games. One in PKs, 1-2-0 for Toronto was a good comeback victory in 2017. I'm going to take Seattle, though. I think that crowd, that home environment, and Rui Diaz, they're just on a roll right now. I think they've peaked at the right time. It's been an up-and-down season for them. Their manager has said that he's like, it's not been the best season, but I think in the playoffs, I think we're starting to find our stride and really peak. So
I'm going to ask you why Seattle wins, because I know that's your answer.
I just think the 1-2 punch of Rui Diaz and Loredo are just unstoppable. Toronto, I feel like the ball has just been following in the right place for them. I think they shouldn't have won in New York. New York gave them 2 very easy goals. And I just think the ball's been falling in the right place for them. Seattle at home. You could say Toronto just won in Atlanta.
Well, I was going to say, if Toronto does win, what are going to be some factors for them?
I think they need Altidore back. That's going to be the major point for them. Altidore has been out for the whole postseason.
He can't stay healthy to save his life.
That's true. He's got 11 goals for them in 22 appearances. If they get him back, that will be a big X factor.
Do you think he's going to come back?
There's a chance he's going to play. If he does play, I think he'll come on as a sub late in game to try to add some momentum and kind of draw attention from the other players. When they played the first time back in April, I think it was 3-2. Altidore had both the goals in the loss to Seattle. I really think that if he comes back, he's just going to draw attention, which is what they need to open up the field for those scores.
Toronto just won in Atlanta. Are they going to win in Seattle?
I don't see it. I don't
Not at
think
all?
The ball falls in the right place. I don't think Seattle makes the mistakes that teams have been making against Toronto.
Yeah, I think Seattle has been the better team.
So Toronto's been gifted to be at this point, you guys want to say? They've been in 3 of the last 4 MLS Cups. They obviously have the talent.
Well, they had the talent 2 years ago. 3 years ago, they had it. I just think this playoff, you look at the DC game, it goes into extra time 2-2, and then they pull out 3 goals.
Yeah.
Something in extra time, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Wayne Rooney's last game, you expect DC to go in there and win. New York FC, they pass the ball into their goalie, easy goal, and then a dumb foul in the box for a penalty. And then Atlanta, they don't capitalize on the penalty.
Well, Connor, score prediction for the MLS Cup.
I'm going to say 3-1. I think Seattle's going to win. I think they're going to score early, and then I think late in the game it might fall apart for Atlanta, and they're just going to get a couple easy goals late in the game.
Quick score prediction.
I like 3-1. If Josie Altidore plays, 3-2.
Yep.
3-2. All right, well, everyone thinks Seattle's going to win. Well, the MLS Cup takes place Sunday. It'll be the last game in the 24-team league. Next year, the league expands to 26 with Inter Miami and Nashville SC making their MLS debuts. By 2022, the league will expand to 29 with hopes of eventually getting to 30. With popularity and numbers of teams at an all-time high, how special is this for the sport, Tyler?
It's huge. If anyone has been paying attention, to Miami FC and what David Beckham is doing over there, it's going to blow up in the MLS. He's already got verbal commits from Cavani. He's got a verbal commit from Ronaldo a couple years ago. David Beckham has played in this league. He knows how it works. I think it's going to be amazing for them.
Connor, what are you looking forward to?
I think it's huge. I think opening up some new markets will get the flow going. Miami, huge market for soccer, especially. I wish the final would have been 2 different teams, honestly. I think that another Toronto-Seattle final isn't what the league needs. I think a good Atlanta, LA, New York, like some of those 3 teams being in it would have helped, but it's still going to be a good final, and it's going to.
What cities do you want to see enter MLS?
I don't know. I think what they have right now is really good. I could see maybe like another Midwest team just to add another market, because I mean you see a lot on the coast, you see a lot in the Northeast, the Northwest, especially in the past 5 years. A Northwest team has gone to the finals like every year, so it'd be good.
You just one city?
I mean Seattle. I mean I'm not going to root for anybody other than Seattle.
Okay.
Put 2 teams there?
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
I'd like to see Minnesota. I just think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But we'll see. You know,
I
sports
mean, they also
growing.
like to work in Canada too.
Yeah.
So.
So, I mean, that'd be really cool to see if we get an international team. Well, thank you guys for your soccer talk. We definitely want to get more of these done in the future. When we come back, I'll reveal the results of our Monday Night Football poll, and I'll deliver my rant. Stay tuned.
I'm in charge of the meeting this week. So you know what we're going to talk about? Basketball. The second thing we're going to talk about this week is basketball. Okay? And the third and last thing we're going to talk about is basketball.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I want to quit. Can I quit? Take that.
Look at the screen. What are we talking about this week?
Basketball.
Back to HTF. We have the results of our Monday Night Football poll, and you guys think the Cowboys will win at 61%. Honestly, Zeke's going to run all over the Giants, and the Giants are not going to help my Eagles. But as always, it's time to go off script, and it's time for the rant. And I'm going to go college football because we didn't have a chance to talk that on the show. Willie Taggart's time at FSU is over. 9-12 is unacceptable at Florida State. I don't care that he was fired mid-season. It was really just a poor showing. I don't even know why he was hired from Oregon. And Florida, you crumbled once again under pressure. And honestly, that's no surprise to me, but it's disappointing in a way. That's all that we have on for this week of HTF. We go on the bye next week, but don't worry, we still plan to go 1-0. Remember to follow all our social media accounts at Hitting the Field. Thank you for joining us for another great episode of Hitting the Field. From inside the Nicholson studio, I'm Jaret Kappelman, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for Hitting the Field.
When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.